young people, wherever they are saying, our countries are being messed up by individuals who happen to be old, who happen to be entitled, who happen to think that they are larger than life, almost as large as death, who also happen to be corrupt, who also think that they can manipulate the population and stay in power for as long as they can. And these young people are coming up with what they consider to be fresh breath of air. And they are looking at what is happening in the neighborhood, which people are praising. They are looking at what is happening in the early days in Burkina, in Niger, in Mali, and they are saying this is where we want to take our countries because our countries are young. The average age in many African countries is between 19 and 22. They want to be present at the table where decisions are being made. They are also telling the world this thing that you call democracy, which has been sold to us by the West particularly, is no longer working. They are saying we need to interrupt this thing so that Africans can engage and countries can engage and rethink and reimagine governance in a way that will respond to the realities of different African countries. You can see their conviction. You could see their courage. You could see the spirit of wanting to bring in something new. It is unfortunate that it has to happen in that way, that it has to be that there must be coup d'etats. It is unfortunate. Everybody who is sensible would want a change of power, which is informed by people involvement. The coup d'etat is the language that is spoken by the unheard.
We believe that passion could shake the walls of our political history, challenge the status quo, and remind us that democracy is not just a political system, but a way of life woven into the fabric of our society. Odinga was a man who understood that leadership was derived from the will of the people and not the will of its leaders. He used to say, leadership isn't about a title. It's about showing up every day, fighting for what is right, and lifting others as you climb. And lift he did. From pushing for multi-party democracy to championing the rights of every Kenyan, he stood firm in the belief that every voice counts. Isn't it ironic, though, that the very people Raila fought for sometimes questioned his methods? Some called him a radical. I prefer to say that he was a dreamer, a visionary who dared to walk where others hesitated because he envisioned a future where no one was left behind. In his memory, we've been tasked with the responsibility not just to dream the future, but to shape it. So what lessons can we draw from Baba's life? First, that change is absolutely possible, but it comes with a heavy dose of courage, persistence, and let's not forget, a sprinkle of humor to lighten those heavy moments. The other day I watched a video of him and he was trying to enter the DCI office. The officer at the gate told him, I think, Mheshimiwa, you were there. The officer at the gate told him that he can't enter. And Baba turned it into a soap opera. First tilted his head, raised his eyebrow and asked, why not? When the officer stood firm, Baba switched gears and started a charming protest demanding access to the public office. That officer did not back down, but neither did Baba. He threatened to rally a crowd to bring down the gate. As I watched this video, I could hear him say three things. He always used to say, procedure first, pressure second, then we take action. Later, as we shared a laugh over the social media storm that followed, he was crying with laughter, saying, you must learn to laugh at yourself. It means you take yourself less seriously. If only we could apply that wisdom at the national governance level in Kenya. In Kenya, institutions work together like a family during a heated dinner. lots of shouting, some staring, and when all else fails, people storm out to their different rooms. Even the president sometimes admits to us that he feels shackled by the behemoth of bureaucracy. People are often afraid of change. They fight against it. It's like they're protecting that last piece of cake at a birthday party. But sometimes, just a sprinkle of Baba's humor and charm can turn a full-blown war into a friendly game of kati. Let's take that lesson to heart. Let's embrace humor while changing the norms. Secondly, bullets don't bring smiles. We are all human, we are all equal. And I really beseech the members of this civil society to bring the two sides of this divided nation together. And the two sides I'm speaking are not political sides. I'm speaking of the two generational ones. The table that I speak of is not for lip service, but for future planning. Many older generations insist they are building us a house. The young people are saying, build it, that's fine. But we have some thoughts on the design. Because we'll be the future occupants of that house. So you don't have to build us a telephone room with a landline, just give us a Wi-Fi. We're good at it. We want to work together in this. But the same principle also comes when you tell them to go vote. And we're talking to people that are registering to vote. Because we've shown them that we don't care whether they do or they don't. So we have a crisis here. These young people are angry. They're not trying to burn down the house. They just want to be listened to. Some are fighting for inclusion. Some will go to the streets. But the more worrying thing is that most have checked out of the game. They will not participate in a game that is not equal. So we can't have a society like that, where some participate and others couldn't be bothered, or they're too afraid, they'll be abducted, they'll be killed. Even if they vote, it will be stolen. We cannot live in a society like that. Oftentimes, I hear, especially men, they like to say this, they always have an analogy of how Simba and Dota Simba is Simba, or something, anything to do with an animal, they always say that.
That's right.
I don't know what, they always have something. But we're not animals. We're human beings in an equal society with equal members, both male, female, and we both have to participate in society. After all, human rights aren't just policies written on nice paper. They are meant to be lived and breathed. So it's time to swap the lip service for some real action. Let's stop tiptoeing around uncomfortable truths and instead tackle them head on. I think you may have seen me this past few weeks not tiptoeing. And you guys have to put your gumboots in. We have to do this armed with wit and grace. Because when we engage in the pursuit of equality with a smile, we not only lighten the load that we carry, but we also invite other people to join the journey with us. After all, who wouldn't want to march towards justice without a sense of humor? Let's make our fight for human rights as infectious as a good laugh. It cannot be bullets, blood, and tears every time. Because if we're going to change this country, then we need to talk. We might as well do it with a smile. But you guys smile first, you know. Us young guys, we're not for jokes. That smile is just for lightness, not that we're joking here. We're also serious. In conclusion, let us celebrate the life of Raila Amolo Odinga, my father, your father, his laughter, his wisdom, and his unyielding commitment to democracy and human rights. As we move forward, let's channel his spirit, a spirit that reminds us that the future is bright, as long as we make it brighter together. Thank you, and may we carry the torch of democracy with pride, resilience, and a touch of humor.
The applause stop and
si gangsta na pasha na washa, shikisha tamasha, tavusha mipaka, nandika mikeka, chunga teleza, jaribu eleza, hakuna kucheza na kupembeleza, tuna wajibu wa kutekeleza, ni taratibu kusema kutenda, chakula hula 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 hula. Tunaifanya tena na tena na tena, tunaifanya